friends, and welcome back to Movies, Munchies, and Moscato. I am Rhonda.
And I am Rochelle.
And we're just a couple of friends who love movies, television, and wine. So if that is something that interests you, please stick around and subscribe so you don't miss an episode. Now it's time for movie news, reviews, and pop culture discussion. So Ryan Gosling has now been confirmed to play Ken to Margot Robbie's Barbie in the movie called Barbie. That's a live-action version of it. So I think this is so cute.
Oh, what they will be so cute together.
It's like they're like I think they'll be the perfect Barbie and Ken. I just can't wait to hear more about it and if it's going to be, take it seriously, if it's going to be cheesy fun or straight up comedy or just how they're going to go about it. I'm just curious to know the tone, I guess, of the movie.
Right?
Right.
Is it going to be kid-friendly?
Right? Yeah, that's true. Is it kid-friendly? Is it Barbie in her cute play world, or is it something completely different?
I know.
That's true. That'll be interesting to see. Can't wait to...
Maybe there'll be a dark comedy.
Oh, that would be interesting. Yeah. Next up, we have Hayden Christensen is going to reprise his role as Anakin Skywalker from the Star Wars movies in the Disney Plus series Ahsoka. I think I'm saying that right?
Yeah.
Alongside Rosario Dawson, who plays that role of Ahsoka. So I thought that was cool. I kind of dropped off a bit on the Star Wars. Well, I did see all the prequels. It's the ones after. Like, I didn't see the last one, the Rise of Skywalker. I still haven't seen that one. Mm-hmm. And I haven't seen any of the TV series. I never saw the Mandalorian.
Yeah. I haven't seen any of those either.
So, but this sounds cool. It's cool that he's going to come back and do that. So, I don't know much about Oshaka, except I guess she was like an apprentice of Anakin. Darth Vader's technically, not Anakin's. So, that should be cool. Brendan Fraser is joining the movie Batgirl as the villain Firefly.
Wow.
So happy to hear this. It's been a while since you've seen Brendan. I feel like he's slowly having a reemergence into moviedom. So
yeah, and what's interesting is he spells his name the same way I do.
Oh yeah, that's true. That is true. Maybe your long distant cousins.
Maybe, I guess.
Although you already looked into all that, right? Your ancestry, so he probably wasn't on there, right?
Yeah, who knows?
Because wasn't it only...
It's a Scottish
wasn't
name,
the only famous person was, what's his bucket, Bernie Sanders? Was that right?
No. Heavens no.
Who was it?
Warren Buffett.
That's it, Warren Buffett. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Woohoo.
That's funny.
I know. He doesn't know. He doesn't know about me. I need to introduce myself as his cousin.
Right?
Long lost cousin.
Get a part in that, Will. And then finally, Dune Part 2 is now scheduled to release October 20th of 2023. So they have already set Dune Part 2 to come about. Which is good, since I already heard it ends on a cliffhanger. I'm just like, why do you do that when you don't have a confirmed that you're coming back? That just kind of bugs me.
Right.
Things like that.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree. But you know what? It is really good. So, and I think
so you finished it?
Yeah.
Oh,
and
okay.
I think that it is... Well, sorry. No, I haven't. I'm like almost to the end.
Okay.
But what I've seen, and I saw the first Dune, it's good. And I think it's going to give Star Wars a run for its money. It'll make Star Wars look more like a cartoon.
Oh, okay.
So, and I think a lot of it is because of the, the newest in digital graphics or digital technology that's making it so cool. But I think they did a great job.
Okay, cool. So movies and TV shows out this week. First up, we have Last Night in Soho with Anna Taylor-Joy from The Queen's Gambit, and also Matt Smith from Doctor Who.
Ooh.
So this is an inspiring fashion designer is mysteriously able to enter the 1960s, where she encounters a dazzling wannabe singer. However, the glamour is not at all how it appears to be, as the dreams of the past start to crack and splinter to something far darker. Now, I remember watching this trailer as part of our trailer talk, and I thought it looked good.
I did too.
I figured it was going to it looked like it was going to go in a darker direction, so that might be like, for me, because I'm not always into all that, but yeah, I think that looks like a good show. I'll probably see it once I'm available to watch it at home.
Yeah, because is it only coming out?
Theaters.
Yeah, it is only in theaters,
Yeah.
That's correct, yeah.
Next up, we have Antlers. This is a movie also just in theaters, and it stars Carrie Russell from The Americans and also Jesse Plemons from Fargo. And so this is a small-town Oregon teacher and her brother, the local sheriff, discover that a young student is harboring a dangerous secret with frightening consequences. This is one of those movies where I've seen the previews on TV. I have no idea what it's really about. Like,
yeah.
yes,
I think we were confused
I'm reading
as well.
that, but at the same time, I'm just like, okay, so
That was one of our trailers as well, our trailer talk.
It was?
I believe so, because I remember watching it and going, that is really crazy. But it's crazy weird.
See, I
it's
don't
right up
remember
my
seeing the trailer
alley.
at all. That's the thing. I just remember seeing the things on TV, and I was like, I don't
Maybe I'm
understand
making it up, but
maybe I understand what this is about.
maybe I just watched it, but it does look really crazy.
It does,
and
yeah.
it does look like something I'd watch.
It does. Yes, I'll agree. There.
Well, shocking.
I agree there.
Oh, no.
Next up, we have Paranormal Activity, Next of Kin. This is technically number 7 in the series. This is a movie that's just on Paramount Plus, actually, this week. So this film follows a young woman trying to discover what happened with her mother, who disappeared years ago, until she discovers a terrifying truth about her mother's past. So I've seen none of these. I can't believe, I was like surprised. I'm like, there's been 7 of these? I had no idea.
I can't believe there have been 7.
I had no idea there had been that many.
No, that is either.
So, yeah. So this is obviously something that Rochelle would watch. Maybe she'll let us know later how it was.
All right, and it's on Paramount Plus. I could do that.
Yes, Paramount Plus. Next up, we have Army of Thieves. This is a movie on Netflix. Now, this is a prequel to the Army of the Dead movie that I watched earlier this year. So, returning character Matthias, starring alongside Natalie Emanuel from Game of Thrones. So, in this prequel, a mysterious woman recruits bank teller Dieter to assist in a heist of impossible-to-crack safes across Europe. So it is a prequel, but it's like the start of the zombie apocalypse in this one. So zombies have already started coming out, but it's not to the destitution that you see it in the Army of the Dead movie once it got to that point. So it's already like worldwide by the time you hit that movie. So, but in this one, it just has barely started. So I'll watch this because I did watch Army of the Dead. If you remember, it wasn't that great.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It wasn't that great of a movie to me.
That.
It was very slow moving, and the fact that it was over 2 hours and it was moving this slow was like really.
Right.
But that was one of the better characters of the movie. So putting him in a prequel is a good idea. This might
rescue it.
Yes. So I will definitely check this out and let you know. Next we have Hypnotic. This is another movie on Netflix and stars Jason O'Mara, Dule Hill, currently on the Wonder Years. Remember, keep watching that, folks. And then Kate Siegel. So a young woman seeking self-improvement enlists the help of a hypnotist, but after several intense sessions, dangerous and deadly consequences occur. Now, I did watch the little preview of this, and it looks, again, another really creepy movie just in time for Halloween. They're all coming out.
Yep, here they come.
So I'll probably check it out because I'm curious. I hope it's not dumb like Intrusion was, where it looks so promising and then it just not being so. So we'll see. I'll check it out. And then finally we have Colin in Black and White. This is a series on Netflix. It stars Mary Louise Parker, Nick Offerman, and then Jane Michael as the young Colin Kaepernick. So a bit of confusion to me about this, but this is an exploration of former NFL player Colin Kaepernick's high school years and experiences that led him to become an activist. So when I say I had confusion about it, it was only because when I first heard about it, for some reason I was thinking it was like a documentary, but it looks like it's a series based on his Colin's younger self, because Jaden Michael is like, I want to say he's like a 12
or so it's not
maybe 14
a documentary?
No, it actually is
because I've already seen it on
it's
Netflix.
an actual series. And the actor is like maybe 13, 14, so it's around that age. It's exploring his younger self and how it was to be biracial and all that, and then how he kind of came into liking to play football at that particular time in his life, I believe. So I was like, okay. That little actor that got Jaden there to be him looks remarkably similar to him. So I was like, good job on casting.
Wow.
On that. Yeah. So I may check it out. I heard it's only 6 episodes, so I may just see how it looks. Because I honestly don't know much about Colin personally, so
right.
We'll see.
Yeah, I don't care to watch it, so you watch it.
Okay.
I've got so many documentaries lined up, so you let us know how it is.
Okay. So what we've been watching this week, I watched the movie Night Teeth on Netflix. This stars Debbie Ryan from that TV show Insatiable. I keep always telling you guys to please check out on Netflix. Anyway, it wasn't that great. It is, a vampire movie, which I literally love those, so that's why I wanted to check it out. It moves slow in parts. I mean, it wasn't only like an hour.
It's
and
a
40
vampire
minutes.
show, correct?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's about vampires, and how they live in Los Angeles, and they have like this unknown peace treaty with the police where some people are aware of them and others aren't, about they can't go past like certain streets in the city and all this stuff. And these two ladies are kind of like helping stage like a coup basically over these other vampires to run the city. So it said it had some interesting parts. It just wasn't all around cohesive enough and
So you're not.
entertainment. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend. I'd probably just give it 2 Mind Forks. Honestly, it just wasn't that entertaining. Unfortunately,
Okay.
Even though I like her, she's still good in it. But and then the other thing I did watch was I caught the new show Queens on ABC, also on Hulu.
Oh, yeah.
And that stars Eve, Brandy, Naturi Naughton, formerly of Power, and then Natalie Vasquez, who I've never seen her before, but the other three have, obviously, if you know about them, one's a rapper, one's a singer, and then Naturi, she's an actress. She always has, she used to be back in the day in the group 3LW, so which I remember liking. So anyway, it was interesting. I was a little bugged because they did too much cutting back and forth to the past, to the present, to the past, to the present,
just jumping
too quickly.
around.
I feel like they needed to start in the past and stay there for a bit, then go ahead and jump to the present to show where they are now. But I still get a good feeling that it's going to be good. Toward the end, it started to have a more, I don't know what the word would be, better
Cohesive
flow.
feel.
Yeah, there we go, better flow to it. And so, I still have to watch this week's because it airs on Tuesday, so it was last night.
Oh, okay.
So, but I'm still interested, so I'll keep going. So I do recommend checking it out, especially if you like music. There was a lot of music in the first episode.
Oh, great.
So, yeah, I thought it was a interesting show, so I'm on board so far.
Well, that's cool. All right. Well, what I've been watching this week, I'm proud to say, that first of all, Dune, which I did talk about, I loved this show. I really did. I liked it. I liked the first one too, and I think I'm probably the only one. I don't know. I thought everybody thought it was cool, and it was cool for the time. But
Right.
I've kind of heard some differing opinions. But I thought it was cool. But I like this, and I like the characters in it. So anyway, I definitely recommend Dune, and I'm glad to hear that they're doing a second one. So.
Oh, good.
The other one I checked out, and I really urge everyone to check it out, especially if you're into creepy stuff this weekend. It's called The Chestnut Man, and it's on Netflix. And this is about a serial killer that leaves his call card is a chestnut man, and I guess in the South, well. Chestnuts are a big thing, maybe. Sorry, not in the South. Over yonder, across the pond.
Oh. I was like, I've never heard that. Okay.
Chestnuts. Anyway, different types of chestnuts. Anyway, they make these chestnuts, and anyway, I guess it's a big deal to make a chestnut man. Little kids love to make these chestnut men. So that's this guy's, or this serial killer's calling card. So anyway, it has all these twists and turns, and it's a great whodunit, and I did not see it coming. So
Now, was it
I
just
love
a
those.
movie or is it a series?
It's a series.
Oh, okay.
And there were, I can never remember. I think there were 7 episodes,
Okay.
6 or 7. But so yeah, I binge watched this. Not a problem. It had me from the beginning, so I thought it was really good. Anyway, let me back up. It's a Danish film, so it's
Okay.
Denmark. So what I did was I put on the English dubbing, I guess is what you would call it,
Right.
and it lined up pretty well with what they were saying, so it didn't bother me at all.
Okay.
And then there were some pictures or some, they pan to like a news article or something, and then they would put in subtitles what that said. So anyway, yeah. So I really liked it. I would give that probably 4.5 on my scale of creepiness, or
Okay.
whodunits. The second one, third, sorry, is Mindhunter, and that's been on Netflix for a bit. As you told me that there were 2 seasons, and it flowed right into the second season for me.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm really enjoying this because it is the true story of how the FBI's Behavioral Sciences Division came to be. So these guys who were FBI agents and who were interested in, how do we stop this before it gets started? So they literally interviewed serial killers like, the son of Sam, and in fact they were on one of the cases of the BTK killer before they even knew who that was, because this takes place back in the 70s, the early 70s. Mm-hmm. So they talked to some of the serial killers back from there, and they were on the cases and trying to figure out their mindset and what makes these guys tick. And it's kind of sad because if you look at all these serial killers, everything starts when they're young, and they had mommy issues, or they were mistreated, or dad wasn't around, or dad was abusive. And some people are just can actually pull themselves up by their bootstraps and they're fine, but then you have these guys that there's just no way to bring them back from the brink. So anyway, I recommend it.
Okay. All right. I thought about it back in the day when it first came on, but I was like,
Yeah, I'm a little late on that. But there was a police officer that I had talked to, and I just happened to ask him, what shows do you like? When you're looking at these crime shows, what's one that you like? And he said, I really like Mindhunter. And now I know why. So I'm enjoying it too. And again, I just kind of went into the second season with no problem, and I'm really enjoying it.
Okay.
So if you have a crazy mind like me, but I was going to school for psychology and abnormal psychology when I thought people were crazy, and I'm not going to do that anymore. And now I find myself really enjoying it. So I don't know.
It's funny how your perception changes as you get older.
Yeah.
Just over time. So we are on Halloween week, so we thought we'd do a little something extra this week. So going over different scary or so movies. So mine is my favorite 3 zombie movies. So, and these really no particular order. I guess if I had to choose, I'd choose this first one as my first one, but which is Resident Evil. I've just watched them all. I've enjoyed it. It's a good mix, I think, between zombie horror and action. I think that's why I like it so much, and I've stuck with them all the time. Is it
scary though? Is it scary or just
the very first one was, as usual with sequels, it was the creepiest and scary. So I remember when I first watched it, I remember jumping a couple of times. But after that, no, they weren't scary at all. So,
no kidding.
For those who don't know, these starred Mila Jovovich, Michelle Rodriguez, and Eric Nabis, at least in the first one I should say, but Mila Jovovich did go on to all of them. And there is a new one, as we discussed last week, that's coming out. That's a prequel, so she's not in it. But Resident Evil, I just think it's a good time. It's basically a virus has spread throughout the city, and it's all caused by this corporation that has this area inside of it called the Hive. And the Hive basically is where the virus resides. And so Mila Jovovich's character her name is Alice, she's trying to stop the spread of it and shut down, the Umbrella, that's what their name is, what their name was, the Umbrella Corporation. So I do recommend it if you've never seen any of them, at least see the first one.
Okay, I'm writing it down.
I do think it's a good show. And it's a good time of year to get started on it. So I say, why not?
Okay, Resident Evil.
Next, we have Zombieland. I'm sure most of you have heard about this one. This one starred Woody Harrelson, Emma Stone, Jesse Eisenberg, and Abigail Breslin. And
it's funny, right?
And this is the funny take on the zombie craze. So again, the zombie apocalypse have broken out. This foursome is trying to travel to where they think is the last safe place, somewhere in Los Angeles, where they can't be infected with this virus of zombieism. So, along the way, it's just their funny adventures. They eventually stop at a house that ends up being Bill Murray's house. He has a funny, little cameo part in there. So, again, I just thought it was a funny take on the whole zombie thing. And then lastly, kind of in the middle there, you have Warm Bodies. This starred Nicholas Hoult and Teresa Palmer. So this zombie thing was a zombie love story. So like I said, a different thing about it. He's a zombie. He's been a zombie for years. It kind of goes back to how he got turned and everything like that. Just a quick flashback in the beginning. And then he resides at the airport, and he ends up seeing Teresa Palmer's character and feels something when he's like, why am I feeling something? I'm a zombie. We don't have feelings. But for some reason, he feels something for her when he sees her. And already when he eats people's brains and stuff, he does absorb their memories, which is interesting because that was the concept of that series iZombie I talked about in the past.
Oh, right, yes.
That was how Liv on that show could help the police. Anyway, it was just really, it ended up being just really cute. The love story was, I know it's about zombies and a human, but it was still believable how it came about, weirdly enough. It was just it was a nice slow burn until she learned to trust them and they were friends, and then it turned into love. So anyway, that's one I'd recommend.
Okay.
When I looked it up so I could remember the name of it, I was surprised to see it was from 2006. I'm like, God, it's that long ago?
Really?
Yeah. It's geez, time freaking flies. Anyway.
Oh my gosh!
Anyway, those are my 3 zombie picks that I would say please watch.
You also like Santa Clarita Diet. Is that and that's kind of a is it zombie? Were they zombies?
That's true.
Yeah,
that was true.
A lot of people like that. So
show.
if you want something funny, right? That was a good one.
That's true.
Cool. And of course, my picks. Oh, I bet you nobody can figure out what I'm like. Mine's paranormal.
Yeah.
And aside from watching some scary shows on TV like the Travel Channel where you have, paranormal caught on tape,
mm-hmm.
And haunted hospitals and, all that weird stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I love the Conjuring franchise. I've said this a million times probably.
Yep.
But I love the Conjuring franchise. I also love Insidious. Have you seen any of the Insidious?
I have
Those are pretty darn scary. So I would say any of the Conjuring movies, along with Annabelle fits in there.
Oh, of course.
Insidious, and then of course, The Exorcist. You cannot ever go wrong with The Exorcist.
Okay.
And then there is one other one that I thought was really actually pretty good, and The Skeleton Key with Kate Hudson.
Oh,
that is. It takes place in New Orleans,
mm-hmm.
and New Orleans is already creepy.
Right.
So, the setting of some home that is, it's like maybe plantation in the bayou.
Mm-hmm.
And, right there, it had me at that. So, anyway, I think it's pretty good. So, those are some of my picks.
I remember, I didn't mind Skeleton Key. I remember hating the ending.
Oh.
As long as I've seen it, I can't remember all the particulars, but I do remember that was when I didn't end up liking how it ended.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you not get that? Or?
I mean, I got what exactly happened. I was just annoyed that's how it
Really?
Yeah. I was like,
oh,
really?
Now see you're ruining it. I thought it was good.
Oh. Well, see, you have to watch for yourself and decide, folks.
Yep.
I do remember liking the movie in general. It's just for some reason, the ending, I just wasn't a fan of how it ended.
Huh.
So, you guys out there, if you've seen it or you do watch it, let us know what your feelings were on that, because it just wasn't my favorite ending. But and now it's time for some movie trailer talk. First up, we have The Batman. This will be out March 4th of next year and stars Robert Pattinson as the Batman, Colin Farrell, Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman, and Jeffrey Wright. And so Colin Farrell is playing the Penguin, which I find the interestingest casting
I know.
ever. I just always go back to, Danny DeVito back in the day as that character. But all right. And there is, I didn't write, I forgot his name, but the Riddler is also supposed to be in this, this time around as well. So anyway, I think it looks good.
I do too.
What I've seen, Robert has impressed with what I've seen as this character. I've never in a million years would I ever have been like, yes, Robert Pattinson should be Batman. No.
Right.
No.
I think too with him being older,
now.
I think,
yeah.
I think that's going to make a big difference.
That's true. That's true. He's matured. It's quite different. So, yeah, I do think this looks good. It's the right tone of darkness. And
it's only in theaters, correct?
Yeah, this will only be in theaters next year. So, I am looking forward to that. Like, I love all those actors. So, hey.
I do too.
I'm like, bring it
I love
on.
Colin Farrell. I love him.
I know. It's like someone else who's seen him. So,
Yeah.
That'll be good.
Yep.
Next up, we have Uncharted. This will be out February 18th of next year and stars Mark Wahlberg, Tom Holland, and Antonio Banderas. This just reminds me, I'm on board, but it reminds me of like National Treasure. It's like action adventure. Mark and Tom are playing treasure hunters, basically looking for this treasure, and then Antonio's kind of like the person trying to prevent them from doing so. So apparently, it's based off if I'm not mistaken, a video game. And so, and since I have no knowledge of video games these days, I don't really care either way how it's going to look. When I was watching the trailer, though, and I was looking at some of the comments from watching the trailer, there were a lot of comments like bad casting with Mark Wahlberg. Like he doesn't embody the character I pictured at all. So unfortunately, I'm going to guess people who are into the video and know that are going to be bugged. But
because
who
would he care? I mean,
right.
I love Mark Wahlberg.
Me
I don't
too.
think there's ever been something he hasn't played well.
Right? Yeah.
So maybe they'll be pleasantly surprised.
I hope so. But yeah, with us not ever seeing the video, we're not going to care as long as the show.
Well,
good.
to be honest, in like Twilight, did you ever read the books?
Yeah.
So none of those characters are what I pictured.
Oh, when they cast
like
it?
Kristen Stewart, she is not
what you pictured as Bella.
I did not picture Bella.
That's true. I agree there.
And you know what? I thought they all did a great job. So,
that's true. I did too. That's
Yeah.
true. Okay. Yeah, you're right.
So we'll give it a chance.
Right. I think it looks good. If you like, good old fashioned, like I said, if you like the National Treasure, even like the Mummy movies back in the day,
and hopefully they're better than that.
I think this will probably be good. Lastly, we have the movie Ambulance, which is out February 18th as well next year. This will star Jake Gyllenhaal and Yahya Abdul-Mateen, who will also be seen later this year in The Matrix. And side note, I'm thinking about it, it was confirmed that Yahya is playing the younger version of Lawrence Fishburne's character from the original Matrix. So, that's unfortunate we couldn't get Lawrence Fishburne back for that. I don't know why exactly or how. I'm sure it has something to do maybe with messing with time.
Yeah, and his age.
Yeah, and somehow they needed to go back to when it was somebody younger. But anyway. But we like Yahya. His story's been everywhere. I mean, he was lastly in the Candyman. He was in that series, The Watchmen. I watched with Regina King. He has so The Matrix coming out, as well as there was one other thing. And I was like, you were everywhere all of a sudden, dude. Everywhere.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, and I love Jake Gyllenhaal.
I do love Jake Gyllenhaal.
I really love all his stuff.
This looks action packed. It's a Michael Bay film, people. We have not heard from Michael Bay in years. He's the one that Bad Boys fame, Armageddon fame.
Oh yeah.
He's into the Transformers even. He's into those over the top stuff. So this looks really good in that theory. These two are playing friends. Yahya's character apparently needs some money for an operation for his wife, and so they decide to rob a bank. And the getaway vehicle in the end looks like it ends up being the ambulance, hence the title of the movie. So, because there was a lot of car smashing, a lot of things blowing up. So, I mean, it was classic Michael Bay-ness happening.
So it's going to be one of those flicks. So it's a dude flick too.
Yeah. Yes.
Dudes will like this.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't be surprised too if this is one that I have a feeling might be in theaters and like on HBO Max or something as well. It hasn't said so quite. It's still too early to know, but I have a feeling that's what's going to happen with this particular one. But
yeah, I agree.
So again, I'm on board. I like Michael Bay. Some people don't like it because it doesn't have much of a story, but sometimes that type of movie doesn't need one, so it's okay.
Huh. That's true. You're absolutely right.
It's all right. Yeah. I'm on board.
All right. Well, hey, one quick note or one quick question, I should say. Any wine picks for us this week?
No, I actually didn't drink anything. I remember thinking that too on Sunday. Like I didn't have anything on Friday or Saturday night in terms of alcohol.
Yeah,
I was a dry Diana.
Wow.
Yes,
yeah. I'm going to. I brought some new wine home, and I'm really super excited to try it. But a Pinot Noir from Buena Vista.
Okay.
And I am not a Pinot Noir fan, but I am telling you what, this one was really good. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah, I'm excited to try this. But anyway, and we have a Halloween party on Friday, so are you drinking
that's
some
true.
wine at that point? Or are you
Oh,
doing something
no,
fun?
I'd probably drink it then. It just occurred to me I just hadn't had anything over the weekend.
Yeah. All right.
Not on purpose. It just kind of happened that way.
Well, anyway, anything that's from Buena Vista I like. So that would be my pick. So anyway, thanks for listening, everyone. And with Halloween coming up this weekend, whether you're going to celebrate it on Sunday or Saturday, whatever you do, please be safe, have fun, enjoy the holiday this year, and thanks so much for tuning in and for listening. And of course, we always have fun and enjoy our time. We would really appreciate it if you'd give us a review or a comment, because it really does help us out. And you can go to Instagram at movies_munchies_moscato. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for hanging.
Thank you, guys.